Hi, this is Jill Raven Stevenson here in my home studio, and I am about to take you through playing with color in my upcoming series called Color Play. So for me, color has this interesting library of information. Like, it can help change our moods, it can help promote healing, it can be inspirational, it can be informational. Also, we can get information from color. It is multi-dimensional in some levels. It is way showers and truth tellers, and we have used color to describe our own energy field. We have associated color to our chakra systems. So color is, like, for me, almost like this hidden library of information. And every single time I choose a color, there's more behind that choosing other than just, ooh, I like orange right now. There's another layer of connection to color. So we're going to begin by just playing with color, just to allow our inner child to have an experience with the primary colors and all of the ranges. When we mix them together, all the different things that can happen in mixing them together. All right, so with that, let's get started, and I am glad you are here. All right, the first thing we're going to need is either a journal that's got kind of heavy weighted paper. It can be a watercolor paper, but I usually just use a heavy weighted paper when I'm doing something like this, when I'm playing. And I like to use Canson's mixed media journals. Usually find them on sale, that 2-for-1 magical sale, or buy one get two free. I'm always like, ooh, running down and taking advantage of that. So you'll need that, and you'll need some kind of yellow. I use the Canyon yellow. I'm going to use the Canyon medium red. And I think this time around I'm going to use the Felto blue. We're also going to need a white. I like to use titanium white. And I like to use an ivory black. So those are the colors we'll need. You'll need some kind of paintbrush. I'm going to use a flat paintbrush. This is a pretty small one, so probably like a number 1. And I like to use a round brush. I'm probably going to use a little bit bigger one than this one. It's a really small number 1, I think. Paintbrush also. So I'm going to grab another one here before we get started. You need a little water. And off we go. Okay, hang on a second here. So I'm going to use this one here. I'm just going to do the water that's here for me. Don't need too much water for this, and we're going to get started. I'm going to first kind of divide my paper up into 3 different sections. So I'm going to kind of just lightly put in 3 sections of color. So, and I kind of like to divide this space up into a little pie of color. Just some radiating arms so I can kind of get a little bit of sense of color travel. And it looks like erase this one. So I have a center line one, a horizontal line to make that plus sign, and then I'm going to make an X on my paper. So you have it. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to put little dabs of color on here. So I'm going to put it way out on the edges so I can bring it, or about halfway through actually, so I can move the paint this way and that way. My paper, so I'm going to do that with all the primary colors that I've chosen. Right. So the first thing I'm going to do is just get that pure color going, which is taking each of the primary colors and just painting it how I want to paint it. So we'll see what happens here. I'm going to do a little bit of the red. I'm moving quite quickly. I'm using a little bit of the blue. All right. I'm going to take a little bit of the white, and I'm going to put white up here. And make sure you guys can see me. Yep. And do a little bit of black down here. All right. So now I'm going to do a little bit of lightening of the colors. I'm going to take a little bit of this and a little bit of that and kind of lighten the colors. And just play with the tones a little bit. We're just playing. Remember, the whole idea is the experience of it. Again, I'm just playing. Sometimes I like to put music on and let that play. And just see what happens. Okay. Now I'm going to do this with the blue. I love light blue. All right. Now I'm going to take a little of the black. I'm going to start with blue so I can see the difference here. And I'm just mixing it on the paper. So I'm just having fun. I'm not really worried about where the colors are going. I'm not trying to stay uniformed in any way. Just mostly what I'm doing is working really quickly. You get to see all the different colors that are made. I love mixing color. Little blue is on my thing. And then you can also see what happens when we're bringing color in. It's interesting with black, with yellow, it always feels like it goes kind of greeny. And again, I'm not really worried right now. I'm just putting down color everywhere. Ooh, I wonder what happens if I add a little white in there. Ooh, that's interesting, right? What if I add a little white over here? Ooh, that's interesting. A little white down here. Ooh, that's interesting. So just mucking around. And now we're going to go into the primary colors. So I'm going to do, or mixing the primary colors. So I'm going to go with orange, right? And I'm going to add a little bit more yellow to an orange color. And again, I am just having fun right now. I'm just putting this anywhere. Ooh, that's interesting. And now I'm going to play with lights and darks. I'm going to add a little white over here. So again, I'm moving really, really quickly, and I'm really okay with using a dry brush, letting them kind of blend together a little bit. Just to see. I'm actually going to use a little more dark with this. Like, what does the dark orange look like? All right. I need a little bit more orange. I'm going to do a little bit more color. So now, just kind of filling this in with these different shades here. Just mucking around. I'm really not worried about it. Now I'm going to play with yellow and blue. A little light in here. I always think it's fascinating what color greens come when you're doing this. Adding a little black to it. A little bit more yellow. I'm going to use this one actually. Ooh, we are having so many cool storms. And I'm just playing now. I'm just like, ooh, I want to add a little bit more yellow here. A little bit more. And I'm just playing now. I'm just like, oh, I want to add a little bit more yellow here. A little bit more. That's an interesting green. And all is plain. As you can tell, I am not trying to make any kind of color wheel, anything like that. I am just playing around with color. I'm going to come down here a little bit. And again, moving quickly. I'm going to use some of this over here. Feels very fiery. Now I'm just letting my paintbrush move, and I'm just having fun with color. I have to be careful now so I don't make it muddy. So I'm going to come in here. Now the only color I haven't mixed is the blue and the